Hello, I'm Tom Sullivan, and I never watched The Monster Madhouse. But you should. I'm an artist type in my spare time, and this is some of my stuff. For about 18 years I illustrated role-playing games for something called Chaosium. They did Lovecraft, H.P. Lovecraft games, and their most promising one was The Call of Sullivan. And I did lots of covers, and I kept the rights to everything. But then I've done other things as well. For example, this is a production design for the greatest movie never made called The Cry of Cthulhu. And it was going to be kind of H.P. Lovecraft meets Ray Harryhausen. Ray wasn't going to work on it, but we were going to have a team of stop-motion animators. And this is all the pre-digital era.
Fantastic.
Would have been an epic. Would have been so cool.
Still could be.
Still could be. I think it's still a good idea.
Absolutely.
And let's see, this one here, this giant worm, is from Sandy Peterson's Field Guide to Cthulhu Monsters. It's 26 of the most commonly seen Cthulhu creatures. Is the Call of Cthulhu, and this was done as a commission actually for Sandy Peterson. He wanted an original, and I came up with this. And I hadn't painted oceans very often, so I rented The Perfect Storm on DVD. Freeze framed the lightning flashes on the water. And so little bits like this wound up popping in, and that inspired the tidal wave in the background. Because this is basically an apocalyptic theme. When Cthulhu rises to the surface and emits his call, mankind is definitely doomed. And so it has a tidal wave in the background wiping out the ocean, and just as a little foreshortening of things to come. Love dinosaurs?
Absolutely.
I like fun ones. This is kind of loosely based on a Ray Harryhausen drawing for 1 million years BC, except that the Allosaurus was ripping the skin off of the guy's back. And then here's a kind of a fun one, a guy hiding, thinking that if you sit still, the dinosaurs won't eat you. But this one's kind of curious.
I don't believe that myth for a second.
Yeah, but running's not going to really help either. What do? Here's a poster I did for Evil Dead back when it was called Book of the Dead. And funny thing, she was probably 3 or 4 when I painted this, but it wound up looking just like Monica Lewinsky. Here's another one back when it was called Book of the Dead. Sam and Rob got a terrific agent named Erwin Shapiro, and he told them, boys, you gotta change the title, because if you have book in the title, kids are going to think they're going to be expected to read them out.
Magnificent.
This is painted in gouache, if I've pronounced that correctly. It's kind of a watercolory kind of thing.
Brilliant.
I got to touch these up a little bit. They get a little scratched.
Wow. This is the real deal here, folks.
Here's some more stuff. This is one of my Cthulhu monsters. This is Shoggoth, which is so big you can't actually fit it on one painting. It just bleeds right off.
Amazing.
And these things can grow tentacles and eyes and mouth wherever they need it. It's like a spontaneous kind of thing.
I think I saw one of those in the bar.
Cool. These are pages from the original Book of the Dead. I sell prints. And there's a funny little curious thing. If you notice, the backgrounds are just slightly different, and that's because if you actually were to buy the entire set and flip them like a flip book, vortex rotates behind the pages.
Wow.
Obscure little detail it took weeks to actually accomplish.
Brilliant.
That's me. It's obscure and insignificant, and I'll do it. Known for my detail work.
It smells of Da Vinci, big time. You're probably from the same cloth.
I didn't have a reference, but it was definitely based on the look of the Da Vinci notebooks. The breakdown of the anatomies. In fact, this is my version of his famous proportions thing with the guy in the square and the circle.
Absolutely.
Except I used a pentagram and a pyramid, more occultic shapes, and of course put a demon in there.
That's amazing.
But yeah,
Amazing.
Da Vinci a lot. Here's some more. This is a flying polyp from the Peterson's Field Guide. This is done in the 80s, and at the time, Ronald Reagan, our president, had had a polyp removed. So I was tempted to put in a little caricature of Ronald Reagan, because I thought if Ronald Reagan had a polyp should have a Ronald Reagan. But I chose against it. Here's another guy, the Shambler. He's very powerful, but incredibly stupid. Here he's playing with his hand and amusing himself with the shadow of his very hand. And I don't think he's even figured out that the shadow is of his hand. He's just found something.
You gotta love him.
Yeah. Here's the Night Gaunt, one of the favorites people like to buy. I think it's the whole evil-looking silhouette thing.
Brilliant. Now, how long does it take you to get one of those from start to finish?
These I was doing about one every day and a half, 2 days, something like that, because there's no backgrounds. Originally the book was going to be flashcards, these long flashcards, and I had started painting them on boards so that they were too close to do anything else. And then they said, hey, we're going to do them in a book, so put backgrounds. I said, guys, it's too late.
Handmade art, ladies and gentlemen, the real thing. No computer enhancement.
Nope.
Handmade creations from above and below.
Here's a fun one. This is spiders. Just kind of a fluky thing. I just started painting one day. I didn't even pencil anything out. I just started pushing paint around and came up with it. It's kind of about fear of change or something. And, I'm going to be. This is going to be used for a comic book cover very shortly, and I'm tempted to write a story for it if I can come up with a good scary one.
I think you probably can. I have faith in you.
Tom Sullivan's Books of the Dead Doublehead. This is issue 2. This is a preview issue of a couple of stories called Horror Show. The publisher is Dead Dog Comics, and should be available at finer comic book stores everywhere.
Fantastic.
And so they had different artists do the artwork. This cover's by Josh Meters, who's also a brilliant artist doing issues 3 and 4, named Kenneth Love. And some of these have alternative covers by myself.
Fantastic stuff, man.
And I want to introduce my fans that I do other things than art and special effects. I also write. And recently I acted in a motion picture with Evil Dead star Alan Sandweiss. It's called The Dread. It should be out on DVD fairly soon. Might even be on the Sci-Fi Channel. And we have a scene together before we're horribly mutilated. A lot of fun. He's terrific.
Okay.
The bat is something I built for our Marshall Community Theater production of The Passion of Dracula. I turn a crank, it pushes the button down, and the wings start flapping. And I let it go,